Hey guys, and welcome back to r/IDontWorkHereLady. Hope you're all doing awesome today, and it's time to jump into some more Reddit stories. So let's begin. Started sweet, then turned sour. I love books, so I take my kids into bookstores all the time. So I was in the kids section helping my youngest look at different books, when another little boy asked me where the bad kitty books were. So since I was there, I showed him. He thanked me, then went back to what I was doing. All fine, right? Then a little while later, I was looking at books for myself, when his mother comes up to me and asks me where the mystery/thrillers were. I don't read that genre, so I told her I wasn't sure. She said, "You must be new. This is the part where you help me find them." I told her I didn't work there. I was just a customer. She tells me, if I don't help her, she'll tell my manager. I tell her to go ahead because I don't have one. She starts following me, telling me how horrible I am, because I helped her son but not her, that she's going to get me written up. My son comes up to me at that point, ready to leave. I thought that would make it clear to her I don't work there. Nope, she got even more mad that I brought my child in to work with me. She followed me all the way to the register and demanded they get a manager because I am the rudest employee she ever encountered. The woman at the register was confused. The manager came over and told her that I didn't work there. Then the woman tells me, if you had just taken the time to help me find my book, this wouldn't have happened. My son, who always has something to say to escalate a situation, tells her, that's not how you say sorry. Mom says you say it without making an excuse. I hustled him out of there quickly, but couldn't tell him he was wrong. He had a point. I'm trying to wrap my head around how some of these people can still be so clueless, even after being told multiple times that they don't work there. Maybe sometimes they're just so sure about themselves in a given scenario about what exactly is going on. So anything you actually try to say to them, they just tune it out. It just goes in one ear and comes out the other. And if you combine that with their short fuse and irrational anger, it just blinds them completely. And it creates a vicious cycle where they just do not listen at all. I really don't know though, maybe it's something like that. The time a woman snapped her fingers at me. So I'm in Rexall, which is like CVS in the States, looking to pick up some soda, pop for my fellow Canadians, for my father-in-law. At the time, I was working for a paint retailer that's pretty big in BC and Alberta, where I live. The staff at Rexall wear jeans, but they have black polo shirts and name tags, so I'm not wearing what they would be wearing. I'm a tall black woman who is wearing jeans and a gray hoodie, with the company's name in huge letters on the back. So as I'm standing in front of the stacks of soda trying to find the 7-Up, I see it's at the bottom of the pile. So I'm bent over trying to pull out 2 six-packs when I hear someone snapping their fingers and clearing their throat. I ignore it as I'm thinking to myself, no, she can't be snapping at me, that's effing rude. And I keep digging for my buried treasures. I hear the snapping again, and I hear Karen yell, "You, girl, at the soda, get over here and do your job. Why are you making customers wait? Get over here and cash me out." As I straighten up, I look at her and say I don't work here. Right as I say that, I see the cashier who is running the till come from the back and ask who's next. The old bat looks at me with a look of disgust, like I should have obeyed my master and got behind the till to ring her out, and goes to pay for her stuff. I just grabbed my soda and got in line behind her. Maybe I should have tried to make some executive orders. I live in a tiny town of about 8,000 to 9,000 residents. A few years ago, I was going through a see what sticks phase of attempted self-improvement to help me overcome a lot of issues with depression, self-esteem, etc. One thing I did during this time was to learn to dress better, whereas before I had basically just given zero thought or effort to my wardrobe, and just wore whatever tatty shirts and jeans I had received as gifts from relatives years prior. I shudder at the memory of having worn an extremely tattered t-shirt with 11 holes in it to a symphonic concert one evening years ago. Now I started dressing with intention, trying to find clothes that flattered my body shape, complexion, hair and eye color, etc. Thing is, this town I live in is not only small, but largely blue-collar, salt-of-the-earth type people. Most folks here don't wear much better than jeans and graphic tees out anywhere, and there isn't really any nice classy places to go in this town as it is. So I was out and about one day a few years ago during this period of sartorial exploration, wearing a casual cream-colored Oxford, some seasonal chinos, casual non-sneaker shoes, and a navy blue trench coat. I was walking home with a couple bags laden with my recent purchases from the town's liquor store when an older woman passing me said, "Are you the mayor?" I stopped and turned to her. "Pardon?" I asked. My brain not sure I heard correctly because it seemed so ludicrous. Are you the mayor? She repeated. Now, I was in my late 20s at the time. Not an impossible age for a town mayor, but definitely not typical. Especially not with this being such a heavily conservative-leaning town that would typically elect a much older person for office. A politician more likely to hold on to the same old-fashioned ideals as the voting populace. Our mayor was, in fact, much older than me, old enough to be my father, if not my grandfather, and he looked nothing like me. After a moment of wondering how this woman could come to believe I was mayor, I just stuttered out in, no. Are you sure? She pressed. Quite certain, I replied, wishing to leave this awkward conversation, get home, and store my recent alcoholic acquisitions in my home bar. Oh, you dress like a mayor, said the woman. Thank you, was all I could respond with before carrying on my way. I guess dress casual is so fancy for this town that only high-ranking officials are expected to wear anything other than scruffy attire. I wonder what she would have said if I said I was the mayor. Lady, I don't work here, and neither do the police. So this happened back before everyone had a camera in their pockets, and man, do I wish this entire thing was recorded and plastered on social media. So my girlfriend used to work for a large convenience store with a pharmacy inside it. You know the place. I would drop her off and pick her up every day. That day I just got done filling out licensing and permitting so I could open my shop. This means I was wearing a suit and tie. Do you see where I messed up yet? Well, hold on kids, it's going to get worse. So I get to the store and my girlfriend isn't outside, so I walk in. She sees me and tells me her relief is running late, and she can't leave yet as her manager was unloading a truck, so decided to wait for her relief as he was going to be there in 15 minutes. Now, something to note about the store. The store manager, the two assistant managers, the pharmacist, and the assistant pharmacist are all women. So a woman, let's call her Karen, comes in, not looking the typical Karen look. Instead, she looked like a typical meth head. Karen asks where the cold medicine is, and my girlfriend tells her it's in aisle 4C. Karen snapped back with, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to your boss who needs to stop flirting and help customers. I turn and say, I don't work here. Karen snaps with, then why are you behind the counter? I wasn't. I was standing to the side of the counter. I just say to her, piss off lady, I don't work here. Karen storms off, and about 5 minutes later, she's back at the front, demanding to know where the pharmacist is. Girlfriend says, Katie should be back there. She might have stepped away for a minute. Karen, getting angry, says, I said I want to speak to the pharmacist, not some bimbo playing pretend. Where's the white man that works there? She's been the only pharmacist in here for the past 6 years, ma'am. Stop lying, Karen said, before turning to me and saying, well, where is he, you useless excuse for a manager? I stand up and look her dead in the eyes, saying, get this through your thick f***ing skull. I don't work here. The manager and my girlfriend's relief come out because of the shouting. I can be quite loud, and my tone scared a few customers. The manager demands, what the hell is going on? I want to speak to the owner now, said Karen. I am the store manager, said the manager. Nice try, but I see the man in charge behind you. He's a cashier, and you need to leave now. Karen then says to the relief, you're going to let her talk for you. The manager says to my girlfriend, call the police now. Now here's where things get mental. The lady starts throwing things. She lost her damn mind and broke a register, several displays, and tried to assault people. When the police arrived, and I shit you not, she called them rent-a-cops and demanded to speak to the owner. The police somehow managed to detain her and put her in the back of the squad car, where she kicked at the windows. The EMTs came and gave her a sedative and took her to the hospital. I believe that's where they went. The police officer said to us that she is definitely on some kind of drugs, as they can see the signs. They also checked her purse and found something in there. Sorry, I don't think they said what it was, and if they did, I don't remember. The store had to be closed to clean up the mess Karen made. And this is why I'm glad we don't live near that area anymore. Finding out a tweaker went nuts was normal in that area. My girlfriend quit shortly after that, as another tweaker came in and threw up on the counter. She couldn't take it anymore. No sir, I cannot fix your car. I am not a mechanic at this shop. So a few days ago, I went to one of my buddy's shops in order to put my winter rims and tires on my truck. He let me use one of the bays to change them out myself, since it's a lot easier than doing it at my house. Anyways, I'm switching them out, minding my own business, when one of his customers comes and taps me on the shoulder. She says, "Excuse me, you should be working on my car. I was here first." Apparently her car was the one in the other bay next to mine. I explained to her that I don't work there, and I just know the shop owner, so he let me use one of the bays to work on my truck. Then she doubles down. "If you can fix your truck, you can fix my car." I then had to explain to her that the reason her car is not being fixed is because the owner had to go grab a part that he did not have in stock. He had to go grab an OEM part from a dealership like 10 miles away. I then start to work on my truck again. "Why can't you just use another part? All cars have the same parts. Are you sure you don't have one in the back?" Okay, well, first off, the shop is technically the back, and I don't even know if you are allowed back here. And second off, every manufacturer uses proprietary parts for many things. She then says she's going to call her husband on me, whatever that means, and storms back into the sitting area. I guess her husband calmed her down because she did not pop back in until after I left. Coffee? I frequent my local diner a lot. I work late usually, and I enjoy sitting at the bar with a cup of coffee. Because I come in a lot, I'm friendly with the staff. I came in tonight and sat in my usual spot. I ate and chilled for about an hour. There is a table of 2 across the restaurant from me. They got here after I did and have been eating. After I'm done eating, the server starts a conversation with me. Just the usual, talking about our work, and she walks away after a minute of talking. I'm fumbling through my bag to pick up my wallet, and my eye catches this man shaking his coffee cup at me. In my head, I'm like, is he waving at me? So I look up and make eye contact. He keeps waving the coffee cup and finally says, "Coffee? Coffee?" I just said, "I don't work here," and looked back down. He didn't say anything to me and just looked away. I am not in the uniform they're in. They're in bright orange shirts, and I'm in a black dress blouse and slacks. On top of them just not paying attention, it's also rude to do that. I worked in the service industry, and I hated when people wave their glass around to get your attention. Alright guys, that is it for today's stories. Thank you for watching, I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed, drop a like, and also subscribe to the channel for more Reddit shenanigans. So take care, stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next one.